And we begin with the seismic decision from the U.S. Supreme Court, a historic ruling forever redefining the office of the president. On the final day of the term, the court handing down its decision on Donald Trump's claim of absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for his actions while in office. The justices, in a 6-3 ruling along ideological lines, deciding former presidents are entitled to immunity for core official acts, but there is no immunity for unofficial acts. Today's ruling almost certainly delays the January 6th case and the classified documents case until well beyond the election. Special counsel Jack Smith with no response to the court's decision today. He will now have to make the argument that the actions Trump took while still in office were unofficial acts. It will be up to the federal judges in both cases to decide. Trump today calling it a big win for our Constitution and democracy, and now demanding all cases against him be dropped. The Biden campaign warning the court, quote, just handed Donald Trump the keys to a dictatorship. Justice Sonia Sotomayor delivering a blistering dissent, writing the decision makes a mockery of the Constitution and system of government. ABC's senior national correspondent Terry Moran leads us off from the Supreme Court.
At the Supreme Court today, a landmark decision that dramatically enhances the power of the presidency and makes it much harder to prosecute Donald Trump. At stake, whether the federal criminal case against Trump for his alleged conspiracy to overthrow the 2020 election, including January 6th, would go forward. Trump claiming as a former president he could not be prosecuted. Absolute immunity for any official acts taken while in office, and he argues everything he did then was official. Chief Justice John Roberts, writing for the court's 6-3 conservative majority, gave Trump much of what he sought. First, Roberts declaring the president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers. Those include, Roberts wrote, the president's commander-in-chief powers, pardon power, hiring and firing federal officials, and more. Then the Chief Justice went further. He is entitled, at a minimum, to a presumptive immunity from prosecution for all his official acts. That sets a very high bar for prosecutors to overcome, covering most of what a president does. And Roberts added another layer of protection for presidents. In dividing official from unofficial conduct, courts may not inquire into the president's motives. The bottom line, in the Trump case, the lower court judge must now sift through the evidence, separate out Trump's official acts from unofficial conduct, and see if prosecutors can overcome the presumption that presidents are immune from prosecution. That process will all but certainly push the case past the November election. Within minutes of the decision coming down, Donald Trump was declaring victory, posting on social media, "Big win for our Constitution and democracy. Proud to be an American." Much of the Chief Justice's ruling essentially echoed what Trump has been saying on the campaign trail.
I feel that as a president, you have to have immunity. Very simple.
The court's three liberals seemed stunned and outraged. Justice Sonia Sotomayor, in an impassioned dissent, declaring, today's decision reshapes the institution of the presidency, puts the president above the law. And she painted a grim vision of what it could mean. When he uses his official powers in any way under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Orders the Navy's SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival? Immune. Organizes a military coup to hold on to power? Immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon? Immune. Immune, immune, immune. And she concluded, with fear for our democracy, I dissent. Late tonight, President Biden reacted to the court's ruling.
For all practical purposes, today's decision almost certainly means that there are virtually no limits on what a president can do. This is a fundamentally new principle, and it's a dangerous precedent.
Never before has the Supreme Court decided whether presidents could be prosecuted. Today, the court answered that question by making it much, much harder to hold presidents accountable for crimes. So the question now is, how will future presidents, not just Donald Trump, use the immense powers of that office virtually free from any worry that they're breaking the law? Whit?
Major implications going forward. Terry Moran, thank you.